Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.
Shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pound, man. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. We rolling, man. Roll to 100K. Who with me? Who with me? Roll to 100K. Let's go. Let's get them subs up, man. Tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend about what we got going on over here. You know, I gave y'all the challenge. I'm checking the numbers. I want everybody out there to get one person to sub. You get one person to sub, we over 100K in less than a month or something. Let's go. Let's get out there. Let's rumble. 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 Appreciate y'all, all y'all who doing it, all y'all who supporting this movement. I appreciate the love for sure. I wanted to drop this story on y'all. It was on my mind, fresh on my mind, you know. Stories come back to me through conversation, right? And I was talking to somebody recently, and somebody who was formerly incarcerated as well. We you know, they remember this situation. So that's how we got on this topic, right? But I was to tell y'all about this Columbian boy, homosexual, whatever y'all want to call him in there. That's what they, you know, called in penitentiary. You know, just trying to be politically correct. I ain't trying to hurt nobody's feelings or none of that. But this Colombian boy that was in the prison named Louise. And let me tell you, man, it was some crazy stuff going on with that situation right there. You know, and like I say, when you dealing in that type of, if you into that type of lifestyle in prison, it's gonna always be some drama. It's automatic. It comes with the territory. You know, it comes with the territory, their own little community that they got, and the dudes that's with that, you know, it's gonna always be a power struggle, and it's gonna be a beef for who trying to, you know, get with the peoples and who trying to have the peoples, and then whoever got the peoples, who they trying to keep the peoples, and it just be going on and on. It's just a crazy dynamic. And I done seen some things over the years. I mean, a whole lot of stuff pop off over these type of situations. I mean, unbelievable stuff. I'm talking bloodshed, hospital rides, everything, man. Dudes getting that Bethlehem put in them. All of that jumps off when you know, and you live in this type of lifestyle in prison. And it's gonna be in prison. I don't care where you go, whatever prison you go to, wherever you go, this is gonna always be going on in the prison. You know, you just got to do your bit and do your time and stay away from the situation if that's not what you into. But at the same time, sometimes that's even unavoidable because you have situations where you may be in the cell by yourself, and at any time you could be in the cell by yourself because your cellie can get transferred, your cellie can get moved, your cellie can get locked up. And whenever your cell is open or your cell is free, you ain't got no say-so who they put in your cell. You understand? And when I first got locked up, it was different. You could get somebody put in your cell, or you could go in the cell with somebody that you ain't want to be in there with, and you know, you could basically, you know, put the muscle down on them, you know, tell them, look, you got to go. We can't live together, you know, and we ain't compatible. You got to get up out of here, you know. And 9 times out of 10, if they won't try to go, you know, you get it in, you rumble, and you know, you get them up out there. So that's how it used to be. But as time went on and time changed, then, you know, the administration started, you know, leaning down on you because beds is so limited, you know, because they keep the prison full. You know, the prison gonna stay full. You know, they keep the light on for you. You always gonna have room in prison, period. You know, that's just how it is. So they gonna always try to, you know, have them beds filled any way they can, and wherever they assign you to, that's where you're going. So as time went on, once you get assigned to a cell now, and somebody come in the cell, you don't like them, you got beef with them or whatever, and you tell them they can't stand here or whatever, you can't even go to the administration and tell them, look, we ain't getting along, he got to go, woo, 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 because they gonna say who got the problem, right? And if you say you got the problem, then they gonna tell you pack your stuff where you going to jail, because this is where they going. period. Now you may be in a situation where they try to put a boy in your cell and you may not be with that and you don't want him in there. So now, back then, like I say, you can tell them off the gate, off the rip at the door, you ain't coming in here. You can tell them take you somewhere else. Nah, you ain't coming in here. And they'll be scared and don't want to come in there because they feel the tension. And they'll go to the people and say, look, I ain't going in there, da, da, da. So the people say, well, you ain't going in there, you going back to the hole. They'll say, okay, they go back to the hole. But all the time, they ain't going in there because of the pressure that you done told them you can't come in here. But as time went on, nah, when they go to there and you try that same move, look, you ain't coming in here, you can't come in here, blah, blah, blah. You better go tell the people you ain't coming in here. They go to the booth and tell the people they don't want to go in there, da, da, da. Why? Because I don't want to live in there where they going to say, why? What's the problem? Say, ain't no problem, I just don't want to live. They coming to you, right? And they going to ask you, did you threaten the person or whatever. You can say, no, you want or whatever. They going to escort the person to the cell and let them unpack their stuff, whatever. And if you say you got a problem, you going to jail. You know what I'm saying? You going to jail right there off the rip. So that's just how the times have changed in the penitentiary, which over the years I've seen so many things change from when I first went in to by the time that I got out. Massive changes. But one thing has never changed, and that is the drama and the violence that's going to come behind, dealing with them boys or them homosexuals is just always going to be like that. Now, every now and then, too, you'll get some of the homosexuals that come in there that been homosexuals out on the street. Some dudes come in there, they weak, they small, they young, they don't have that, that fight in them, that killer instinct, and they become victim. They become prey because dudes are going to be preying on them, You got dudes in there that feel like they ain't never getting out. You got some dudes in there that's legitimately never getting out. And that's what they into because they ain't going to never be able to get out. So this is the lifestyle that they going to live. And if they can, impose that on you or break your will or make you into a homosexual or something like that, that's what they going to try to do. Period. You know what I'm saying? It's always been a part of the penitentiary. A lot of people out here on the street think, that don't really go on no more. It does. You know what I'm saying? It definitely does. They just never try to promote it or they never try to publicize it because of the simple fact that it's going to bring a lot of, heat down on the penitentiary. But it goes down in every penitentiary that I've been on. So like I say, you young fellas, when you go in there, if you ain't got no killer instinct or you ain't, physically fit or mentally prepared to hurt somebody to whatever degree that you got to hurt them, then you might don't never want to go to penitentiary. Period. You should not never want to go to penitentiary anyway. But this might be a problem for you with all these young dudes out here now that y'all ain't into working out, y'all ain't into, being physically fit, you running around out here with your pants halfway down and you thugging and you thinking you hard. Nah, penitentiary, nah, you got to use these and you got to use this. Ain't no guns and none of that in there, even if you pick up that Bethlehem, you better be strong enough to use it and you better be strong enough to make sure don't nobody take it away from you. So those are the dynamics that you're going to be dealing with when you're in prison, when you in there every day, you at war, mentally, physically, and spiritually, you are at war. So if you ain't trying to live like that, you better live right while you're out here because that's what's waiting for you on the other side of that gate. That's a fact, So like I said, over the years, I've seen a lot of them, man. But then when them certain ones come in there that was already, living that lifestyle on the street, and some of them that was living that lifestyle on the street, they come in there now, they got breasts, they got butt injections and all of that, and the dudes that's into that type of lifestyle already, they go berserk. They go berserk. They lose their mind. They trying to, be the one that can get them. They trying to, go at them with everything they can. And look, I'm going to take care of you. I got this, I got that. Ain't nobody going to bother you. So it be a war. They beefing with each other to see who can get it. Get the peoples when they come on the compound off the rip. They going to know about it. They going to hear about it. And wherever they at, they going to come flocking. And they going to be shooting their shot and trying to get in the door where they can fit in. And whoever end up with them, gonna have to be able to protect them. Gonna be able to have to be able to protect itself. because the wolves is still gonna be coming. Cause everybody gonna be trying to figure out who is tough enough to hold them. And if you ain't tough enough to hold them, somebody else gonna try their hand. You can believe that. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen dudes get to rumbling and over a boy or over some peoples or something, and neither one of them end up having it because they're going to jail. You know what I'm saying? They going to jail, they're going to get locked up, they're going to move the peoples, they're going to either lock the people up or put them on PC, protective custody, and it's a no-win situation. So I never understood that dynamic at all right there, because like I say, what both of y'all are trying to get, neither one of y'all be able to obtain because you're going to jail when you go to war. You see what I'm saying? So it's just crazy, but it goes down in there, man. And you had some dudes in there that came in there. There was some homosexuals that's legendary in the system in Virginia anyway that people know about. Some of them I ain't even never been around, but just heard about them. Like they had one name, I know they used to call it, all of them got these crazy names, but one of them used to be called Jesse Buffalo, and I heard that was their real actual name, Jesse Buffalo. But I used to hear a lot of stuff about him because a lot of dudes that got the beefing over him, dudes that got hurt over him, dudes that got stabbed up with the Bethlehem, and they supposedly looked a whole lot like a woman. You know, everybody used to say they looked like Vanity from Vanity 6, you know, from the Purple Rain movie and stuff. So I used to hear a lot about them. You know, dudes beefing over them, fighting over them, getting stabbed and stuff like that. You had one named Revlon. Everybody used to talk about them. They was, you know, done up to with the breast and the butt and all of that type of stuff. So you can hear about these things transpiring on different compounds about people who got the beefing over these, you know, homosexuals, these in particular homosexuals. So you know it goes down in there. And I'm talking about bloodshed, real bloodshed, you know, straight up like that. Dudes is fighting harder in there for them peoples than they fought for the girlfriend out here on the street. You know, I guess because they so limited in what they can have and then you is out here on the street. They got options. In there, they ain't got too many options. You got 25 dudes trying to get the same people. You see what I'm saying? So it all depends on who that person pick and choose. And then you got some dudes leaning on the people so hard as if like threats. Because, man, you got that domestic stuff in there is crazy. I know y'all here on the street can't understand it. You can't comprehend it. Even when you in there and you knew and green like I was from the beginning, I couldn't comprehend it or understand it. But over the years, when you see it so much, you start to just understand what they doing and how they living their life, and that's that. But you have some dudes that get them peoples and they so protective and so scared that they're gonna lose them that they actually be treating them more or less like slaves, man. You got some dudes that get them and if they fortunate enough to get them in the cell with them, and they get them in the cell with them, and they won't let them come out the cell, period. They won't let them come out the cell for nothing. They come out that cell, they come out, take a shower, or do this, that, and the third, and go right back in the cell. They don't go nowhere without the man. Nowhere. I mean, they like on lockdown. Yeah, dudes be doing, they won't let them come out the cell. You know, so you see him like that. I've been in the block with a dude, he had some people in particular, he would never let them come out the cell. Even when he had a job, he went to work on the yard every day. And when he went to work on the yard every day, the people never even came out the cell till he came back from work for nothing. And he would have people watching him to tell him if they was out the cell. And if they was out the cell, then you would hear when he get back in that cell, all you would hear is, boop, 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 boop. He beat him up. You know what I'm saying? Beat them up. That's just how they was living. You know, so when you start putting together those type of dynamics, you get a feeling, an understanding of what's going on. And like I say, it's a world within a world. You could just only be watching it, and you just be sitting back to yourself like me and just shaking your head like, man, you know, because it goes down in there all the time, man. All the time it goes down in there. When you in that lifestyle, anything can happen at any moment. Now, I can remember when I was on Greensville, and I remember when I first heard the name Louise, right? And Louise was a small little Columbian boy, probably no more than like 5'1", 5'2", Columbian, real thick Columbian accent. And they was messing with a dude named R. I'm gonna just say R. I ain't even gonna call his name. People who know who I'm talking about. But they was messing with a dude named R. And I remember when I got out the hole for fighting, always in the hole for something. stayed in the hole, man, for foolishness, you know. But I remember when I got out the hole for fighting, they put me in the block with them. So I'm in the block with them. I sleep upstairs, they sleep downstairs. So I can remember when I first seen them. You know, they real small and petite. And dude that they was messing with probably was about 6 feet, you know, 6'1". I knew the dude in particular, you know. So they was basically on the same thing. You know, I would never really see them Louise in the block unless he came out. You know what I'm saying? And he had a job. So when he went to work, the same thing. They stayed in the cell. They never came out. So all the time I would really see him was when he was there and they would be, and I slept in the same block with him. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they was current. But later on, when I heard stuff about Louise, I started to understand what was going on. Yeah, I started to understand what was going on. Now, I told you Louise was Colombian. So I heard that Louise was not only Colombian, but Louise was actually the plug. And if y'all out there know, you know what the plug is. The plug is the person who can get the drugs in. I heard Louise was the plug. I heard their brother, them, you know, they Colombian. I don't know if that, you know, fits the dynamic or whatever. But I heard that their brother was, you know, doing their thing out there on the street. And, you know, with the drugs, you know, the cocaine, the cocaine, you know. So in penitentiary, you know, if you can get any type of drugs in, you know, it's wanted. And they want it in there, period. And they're going to pay for it no matter what it costs. They're going to get it because they missing that. That's something that they can't get. So when you start talking about cocaine, you know, normally it's weed, always going to be weed somewhere in there. They're going to be able to find. But when you start talking about getting cocaine in there, it's going to be a limited amount of people that can really get it. Cocaine or dope or whatever. So whoever those people are, you can rest assured they getting paid. They getting paid the big way in penitentiary because dudes in there want it and they going to do whatever they can to get it. You know, if they had to go rob somebody else, they going to get it. They trying to get it. So I heard that Louise brother then was doing their thing on the street, so they used to always bring Louise the coke, right? And Louise get the coke, so whoever got Louise got the coke. So if they into that type of lifestyle by messing with Louise and they into the drugs, they got a win-win. You know what I'm saying? Then you got some dudes that they may be into that lifestyle, they may not be, but they want the drugs. So they willing to compromise because they want to get with Louise because they know Louise is bringing the drugs in. So by the time this dude R got the people, now R is the man with the drugs because he the one that's supplying all the drugs because he getting them from Louise. Because Louise brothers them supposedly come up there every week and break him off, make sure he's straight, you know. And I don't know if they was doing it to make sure that he could protect himself by paying off for protection, or they knew he was gay because to my understanding, he was gay when he came in. He'd been gay all his life. So I don't know if they was doing it just to make sure that he be safe or whatever. But, you know, when you got that, that's a heck of a bargaining tool. You know, when you the person that's getting drugs, like I told y'all before, penitentiary has changed so much now that snitches, you know, they come into penitentiary when I first came in, they get crushed. They get, you know, taken cold advantage of. No love, no respect whatsoever. But now when snitches come in, if they get drugs in, dudes try to keep the weight up off of them because, like I say, drugs are such, you know, in demand and at such a limited supply that they don't want you to bust the dude up. They don't want you to hurt the dude that's getting the drugs no matter what he did because that's going to stop there. That's going to stop there getting high. So dudes will protect those type of dudes. This came later on in my bit, man, you know, so it was a strange change, man, because like I said, normally dudes don't want snitches around them no matter what. But like I say, when it comes to money and it comes to getting high and it comes to drugs, man, people lose their whole, you know, philosophy, man. They lose their whole principles, you know, because the drug is stronger than them. You know, the drug is stronger than them. So, like I said, by Louise being a Colombian boy and being the plug to get the drugs, now every dude that's in that game, they want Louise. So the dude who got him, he got to be strong enough to hold him. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the problem come in. Because, you know, you won't have to be strong enough to hold him. Now, what if you got to put some work in? What if you got to pick that Bethlehem up? What if you got to do this to show that you can't hold him? Then it's a lose-lose anyway because you out the picture. You gone to jail. If you go to jail, especially if you go to jail for using that Bethlehem or anything like that, it's never a guarantee that you coming back out on that compound. It's never a guarantee that you coming back to the spot that you left, even if you do come back out on the compound. And being that Greensville was the biggest prison in Virginia, 3 institutions in one, you could go to jail for something like that and come out and be put on the other side, which is considered a whole nother compound because it's like 3 in 1. So you could be in A unit and go to jail and have beef over there and come out, they may put you in C unit. So now you never see or, deal with the people that's in this whole other unit. You don't even see them. So they could do that. That was a possibility. But at the same time, even if they did that, and you had somebody over here in A unit that you wanted to be with, or somebody that you was trying to kick it with, or that was your partner, or whatever the situation may be, then you still stuck because you're not gonna see him. You see what I'm saying? The only option was if that person can get moved over there where you was, which wasn't an easy thing to do, and especially if it was some type of physical altercation or dispute that separated y'all in the beginning, because they just might put y'all on keep separate list. If they put y'all on keep separate list, you ain't gonna never come around them again, especially not on that compound. So, like I said, it was a tricky situation. So you'll have a dude that might be in that type of situation where he don't want to get locked up, but at the same time, he has to do things that may get him locked up. He has to be an enforcer. He has to be somebody that's not weak, because if not, people gonna take what you got anyway, no matter what it is, whether it's some people, whether it's some drugs, whether it's commissary. If you weak, they gonna take it anyway. So like I said, it was a crazy dynamic. And so you got that situation going on, and everybody knows for the most part that the only reason the dude got drugs is he getting them from Louise, and then you got the dudes that want Louise. Some dudes just want Louise just because, not just because of the drugs. They just want Louise. You see what I'm saying? So it was crazy, man. And like I say, the dude I ain't gonna say that, from my opinion, that I thought that he was like a tough guy, or he was a dude that, will put that work in like that. I ain't gonna say he was a sucker, but from my observation, I never looked at him personally like he was a go all out dude. And when I mean go all out, mean if you got to take a life, then you got to take a life. You know what I'm saying? But that's a different type of dude than a dude that is, if you put your hands on him or try to take something away from him, he willing to fight. He willing to fight, but how far is he willing to go? See, in penitentiary, you got to be willing to go all the way, because sometimes fighting just ain't enough, because dudes ain't gonna really respect that. You got dudes in there that'll fight. They always tell you that. They tell you that out here on the street. Oh, you go in there and stand up for yourself and you fight, then you gonna be all right. No, not necessarily. Not necessarily, because sometimes a fight ain't good enough. Sometimes you got to be willing to seriously hurt somebody, and that message has got to translate throughout the compound. That message has got to translate throughout the system. These are the consequences dealing with me. Not no busted lip, not no black eye, not no couple of little scrapes because y'all been tussling around on the ground. That ain't gonna get it. That's gonna invite some more people that might feel like, well, you whooped him, but you can't whoop me. That type of situation. So that's not gonna be the be all, the end all, just because you will fight. Nah, but if you put that Bethlehem in somebody and you get them close to Jesus, and they may not make it, and the only thing save them is a good surgeon or God, then people know who they dealing with and what they dealing with. And they not so apt to run up on that. They not so, ready to challenge this type of person, because they know what they dealing with and they know the consequences of that. So when you dealing with a person like that, you have to have the same mentality. You got to be willing to do to them what you already know that they would do to you. You see what I'm saying? So those are, different things. Like I say, you got dudes in there that'll fight, but then you got dudes that they know that'll fight in this. I know dudes in there that'll fought all the time, often, and took L's and L's and L's and L's, but everybody know that they will fight, but how can you be having all of these fights and keep on losing? The reason is because dudes gonna keep on trying to get a reputation off of you, because they know you can fight and they know you can't fight. You know what I'm saying? Or they know you will fight and know that you can't fight. So another dude might want to try to beat you up, so to show that he can beat somebody up. Oh yeah, well, I'm gonna try Larry, because I already know he 0-12. You know what I'm saying? So he trying to get a reputation, so he'll pop off on Larry. What you say to me? And cause a whole confrontation and pop off on Larry trying to get some points off of Larry. Because he already know that Larry ain't no rumbler. You see what I'm saying? So you got those type of dynamics too, man. So you got to be able to put that work in and be willing to put that work in. And like I tell y'all all the time, all of that stuff comes with cost. Even if you win, it comes with cost. Because you got to go through the system. You got to go through being locked up. You got to go through being in segregation for however many long. Can you do segregation? Can you stay in a cell by yourself for months on end, maybe years? All of this comes with whatever type of violence you produce. You know, now you may come out after that situation and have much respect, but at the same time, are you mentally tough to go through what you're going to have to go through when you make those type of moves? And a lot of dudes are not. So a lot of dudes fold up under that type of pressure and up under those type of circumstances because they know what they're dealing with. And then, like I say, some people just ain't cut out to do that. And if you ain't, then like I say, for that and many, many other reasons, you should not ever go to prison. Ever. You know, and this is what we was dealing with, man. So, like I say, at this time, all this stuff was going on. I can remember when the little beef had started coming up because, like I say, I was going to work and Louise would stay in the cell, would never come out the cell while I was going to work. So while I was going to work, it was another dude, we're going to say his name's D. His name began with D. D used to be always going down there to the cell, standing at the door, talking to him, you know, for hours on end. But every time, by the time I came back to work, D would peel off. But like I told y'all earlier, sometimes them dudes would actually have a spy in the part. They would actually pay somebody to watch their cell, to watch their people while they gone, just to be sure they know what they doing. So he must have had somebody watching Louise, and he done came back from work one day, and he pulled up on dude, he talking to dude or whatever. I don't know if that was the dude who told him, but I remember when he go back in the cell, now all you heard in there is him hollering and screaming at Louise and a couple of smacks and stuff like he done went in there and beat him up. So when he go in there and do all of that and handle his business, he comes back out the cell and pull up on the dude that be going to the cell talking to him. Tells him, look, I heard you been down there talking to my peoples, man, while I'm at work. I don't know what you think you got going on. I don't know what you think you gonna get out of the situation, but they ain't going nowhere. You can't have them, and that's that. So don't come down to my cell no more. Don't let nobody tell me you been down in my cell talking to my people. So dude that he talking to, you know, D, he ain't no sucker neither, you know what I'm saying? He far from a sucker. He done put some work in. He known to put some work in. So he barked back at him like, man, what you talking about? You don't tell me where to go. You don't tell me who to talk to. Who you think you dealing with? So he's like, I'm telling you, that's my people. That's my cell. That's that. Don't be coming down there. You can't come down there when I'm down there. You ain't got nothing to say to them. Don't say nothing to them. He's like, man, F you. You know what I'm saying? What you think? What's up? You know what I'm saying? So he's standing his ground. Dude standing his ground, but at the same time, now you got this dude, he got some people to roll with him from the city he from. Because like I say, drugs involved, you know, and a lot of dudes get high. So if he the man and he's supplying these drugs, and also he got his homeboys, he probably breaking them off, so they probably benefiting from the situation as well, so they gonna back his hand. But then you got D over here. He got a reputation already. He known to put that work in. He from another part of the city. So, I mean, not that city, another city. So his people gonna back his hand like, oh, okay, y'all with it? Y'all with him? Okay, I'm with him. So now you getting ready to have a whole great big melee, you know what I'm saying? Because he done pulled up on this dude about hollering at his people while he not there through the cell door. So now the situation is starting to look ugly in the block. It's starting to look ugly. It's starting to look like it's going to be some drama up in here and some bloodshed. So, you know, they barking, they beefing, and his people done pulled up, like, what's up? No, I'm just letting them know this what it is. Don't be going to my cell. Man, you don't tell me where to go. Who you think you talk to? And I can't talk to nobody who don't talk to me. Don't check me. You need to check your peoples. Who you think you dealing with? You know what I'm saying? Well, oh, I done checked them. I'm telling you, don't say nothing else to them. Woo, woo, woo. So they in this big old, argument like they really get ready to get it in. But by now, they done alerted the police because the police look out here, see people talking and reading body language or whatever. And then you talking about 6, 7 people on this side, 7, 8 people on this side. So you looking like we get ready to have a little mini riot up in this joint, like everything get ready to pop off. But unbeknownst to them, all this is over a boy. All this is over a little tiny Columbian boy and the underlying part about it and the drugs. Because you can't forget the drugs, because that may be even more important to them than the boy. They want the drugs. They want to get high. That's the draw for that. And right now, this the best thing going. This the plug. This is where all of the coke is coming from. It ain't no more coke on the compounds except when he get it and he have it. So this is some major stuff here. You know what I'm saying? Now the crazy part about it, the dynamic is, no matter what happens, R or D, nobody wants Louise to go to jail, because Louise go to jail, the drugs is gone. That's the end of it. You know what I'm saying? So they protected in this situation. But R got, the people in his cell, he do what he want to him, threaten them, beat them up or whatever. They ain't going nowhere. He not going to let them go to jail. He not going to let them check in. And if he bruise them all up, he going to keep them in the cell. He ain't coming out the cell, so the police ain't going to see him beat up anyway. So it's just a crazy dynamic, man. And then they at each other, and then D just tell them straight up, he said, look, bro, whatever you want to do, I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? And your crew or whatever. So then some of his crew start barking. Now some of his crew start barking. Now dudes talking about, well, what's up? Set it off. Pop it off. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. Then the police come. So the lady get on the jump. She get on the loudspeaker. She say, hey, what's going on in there? What's going on out? Y'all better break it up. So boom. Now she done holler, so they know she alert. So now they looking at each other. Everybody's death gritting each other. And everybody tell them, okay, yeah, all right, you know what it is. Or you know what time it is. And boom, they start separating before the police come. Police end up coming in there, 2 or 3 police to walk around, see what's going on. So they walk up in there. When they walk up in there, everybody started dispersing. But when they started dispersing, they already done looked at each other and they done verbally said, the understanding is, yeah, whenever you try to pop it off, let's get it.
The Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.